Okay, so this is the most important thing that you need to understand while you are building your brand. Because branding isn't just about making a logo or advertising, because a lot of people are spending a really heavy amount in their marketing without even knowing what their brand really is and without focusing on branding. I want you to take a step back and before spending too much money in the marketing and all these realms, start to understand that what actually are you trying to make? Do you really know what your market is? Because branding goes beyond just making a logo and presenting your products in front of the audience or the customers. First, you have to understand that in order to build branding, you have to focus on your market first, and you have to understand what your market is and how exactly are you going to target that market. Let's say you are selling uh, glasses for prescription glasses. Your audience wouldn't be anyone and everyone. Your audience would be specifically people that have eyesight problems, and you would need to understand that where in that demographics, what are their budgets, how likely are they going to buy it from a certain retail store. Let's say, do they buy it from department stores or retail stores, or do they shop online? You have to understand your demographics. That also comes in branding. Okay, not really, because that is first how you understand your market for building the product. And people confuse these things. People confuse sales, marketing, and branding because all of these things are really, really different, but they play a major role increasing your potential to sell, increasing your potential to build customer. Because once you sell your product, it goes beyond into the industry of actually retaining that customers, and that comes into the play with branding. Think of Nike, Apple. They don't just sell product, they sell recurring of products. Apple, if you have an Apple product, you are most likely to buy another Apple product after 3 4 years, right? So branding would allow you to sell your product recurringly. So then you understand, okay, how do I make my branding effective? First, make sure that your brand values are portraying through what you are making. Let's say you are making a eye device or a specs, then you need to say, okay, is that product going to showcase my branding? Is it going to really showcase what brand we have and what we actually want to build with the customers? And then you have to come up with a couple of things. You have to come up with the first, your branding designs. It not just means that you have to have just a logo, but also your color palettes, also your motifs, also your style of the fonts as well. All of these design aspects come into your showcasing of the products, showcasing of your brand. And then you go into further. Okay, that's the design aspect. Then further design, you go into the values and how are you going to showcase those values. You can either do some sort of campaigns or some sort of even your blog posting. It doesn't cost much. You can just make a blog and post about what your brand really stand for. And then once you have these two things, how are you going to convey this to your audience? In order to take both of these things, your designs and your values and your brand mission, into the market, you would have to take marketing into the play and do marketing only once you are ready with the branding. Don't go into the market without a brand, because there's a lot of products which end up being just waste of your money, because you can either spend a lot more on branding and then spend little on marketing, because branding is going to elevate your product or your ad in the market as such. So once you have a concrete branding plan, then go into the market and you can then understand, okay, these are my customers. Let's say you are selling gym products, then you'd understand that your audience is people going to gym, or people that are interested in going to gym, or people that are athletes, in all these forms, right? Then then you would um, then you would market your products to that demographics, right? But those people would already see like hundreds of campaigns of different brands that are trying to sell them um, gym apparels or any other gym essentials. That there's And at that point, your branding comes into play. Your branding would stand out from the crowd, and you would be able to actually convey a good idea of what you actually are, and how actually are you going to elevate the person's lifestyle. Because it's not just about product, how are you going to benefit that product. There are hundreds of brands of clothing or apparels. How are you actually distinguishing yourself from all these brands? That's where branding comes into play. And most people are lacking that aspect. They're not focusing on branding because they are focusing on the product as such. You can change your product 10 to 15%, but in accordance to your branding, because your branding needs to be visible through your products. If your branding isn't speaking through your product, then who is going to showcase that aspect of your brand? Because once you build that brand, it's going to give you a lot more than just selling a product. It's going to build a community, right? And that community is going to be essential for your further growth, for your further projects, because those are the people that are going to buy the products from you again and again and again. So keep branding as the most important aspect when it comes to starting with building a brand or building a company as such. All right. And don't get tossed between, oh, what do I do? What do I? First, focus on branding. Once you have your brand done, you can go in and do marketing. Yeah, sales is really important, but if you sell a product once, you want them to buy it again and again. So once and for all, go down and actually open your books and write down your brand values, write down brand missions, write, make your design templates, make your concrete design plans of your branding, so that you can go into the market and actually enhance the customer experience, because that's the market where all the money is. Customer experience. People are paying hundreds and millions of dollars to customer experience. Nobody cares about your cheap product. They care about customer experience. That is it. All right, I hope you have a good one and start focusing on branding.